Hello again. Good morning. Wanted to spend a few minutes and talk about, one of those top-rated anchors, number one for who knows how many years. And that's Bill O'Reilly. You know what bothers me about Bill O'Reilly? Well, there's actually a few things. He can never, be wrong, He's so opinionated. I mean, he was all hung up about Obama being legitimate because of some articles in a newspaper, 50 years ago, announcing the birth. Anyway, what I find fascinating is here's a guy that is extremely wealthy, extremely popular, and extremely busy. Yet he has time to write all kinds of number one best-selling novels. Yeah, Killing Jesus is next on the agenda. Killing Lincoln, Killing Kennedy, goes on and on and on. Now, I gotta admit, he does give credit to his co-author. He calls him his co-author. He calls him his researcher. But he says he does all the writing. And that's a guy by the name of Martin Dugard. Now, I never heard of Martin Dugard, and probably no one else has either until, Bill sort of found him. Let me ask you a question. Would you buy a book written by Martin Dugard? I probably wouldn't. But would you buy a book written by Bill O'Reilly? Well, I guess most people would, just for the nostalgic factor. You know what I think would be really good? If the truth came out. Bill could make a lot of brownie points if he went on his show and got hooked up to a lie detector, and asked some very basic questions. Like, did you co-author this book? Did you write this book? Or did Martin write the book? See, I don't understand how a guy as busy as Bill is, running around with his buddy from California, doing all these shows all over the country. I mean, there's not a month go by that they're not somewhere else, you know what I mean? And he's selling tickets, and he's selling the house is all sold out constantly. How does he have time to do any kind of authoring, Well, I guess he could do a little bit when he's flying back and forth in his private jet, which is, I assume, how he travels. But, I think it's just a joke. And once again, if he were to go on his program, get hooked up with a lie detector, he'd sell a lot more books. Or he wouldn't sell a lot more books. Personally, I don't think he'd sell a lot more books. And, I understand that Killing Lincoln's got some problems of its own. There's a lot of inaccurate statements that have been made. And that's just what I'm picking up, but who knows? I'm not going to read any of his books because I don't believe he wrote any of those books, And this Martin guy is probably making a killing because these books are at the top of the list, bestsellers. And they're bestsellers not because of their historical value. It's because O'Reilly's got his name on it. It's like the suits he sells because he gets free shirts and free suits and all the rest of it. It's a joke. Come on, Bill. Let's see you get hooked up to a lie detector test and answer a couple of basic questions, That would be really good. It would sure alleviate a lot of doubt that I have about your ability to write books. I don't think you've written one book. How's that grab you? You don't have time. You couldn't have time. Anyway, I'd like to see that happen. But, like everything else about Bill, it'll remain a mystery, won't it? Killing Jesus. What a joke.